Welcome one and all to Best Served Cold. My name is Deep Space Matt, and today, working 2 jobs makes for some very long days. As a bartender, I need to make sure I'm matching my customers' tastes to the right drink, and as an amateur detective, I can use the libation to get them talking about subjects they normally wouldn't. And with all the gossip flying around, the possible motives and methods of my 4 suspects start to reveal themselves. How much new evidence can I collect? Let's find out in Best Served Cold. Alright, here we go with some more of Best Served Cold. Let's get right into it and continue. We should have a packed house today. And we do. Just look at everybody. It is day 5 into our murder investigation. And we start off, as we always do, from left to right with, is his name Peter? It's been such a long time. Indeed, Peter Wagner. What am I in the mood for today? What sort of drinks do you like, Peter? I like proper drinks. Something dark and bitter seems my old favorites off the menu anyway. Has that made you dark and bitter? How about you leave the jokes and stick to the mixing, bartender? Will do. Let's see if we can find your favorite. You place a glass on the counter. Care for a drink? Yes, I do. So dark and bitter. This one has sugar syrup, so no. Sugar syrup. Also sugar syrup. Perfect Storm, dark rum, ginger ale, and a lime slice. That's a top contender. Passion fruit, no. Cola, probably not. Pineapple juice. Oh, night count. Gin, vermouth, triple second lemon slice. I like that. Oh, no, wait. We've already given this to you. It's got a plus, so you like it, but it's not your favorite. Orange Daisy, tequila, triple sec, lime juice, ice cubes, maybe. Ambush, coconut cream, probably not. I like the look of Orange Daisy and Perfect Storm. Maybe Perfect Storm a little more. It just has the ginger ale in it. Of course, it is only 2%, so that's not getting you anywhere near being tipsy even. What gets you tipsy? Or even up to drunk? Eastern Ruby, which is the sugar syrup, so no. One Night Stand gets you to 6. Yeah, I don't like my options. I guess just Perfect Storm. We're going to try this. I like the little thundercloud. All right, Peter, here's a Perfect Storm that is perfectly mixed. Is it your perfect drink? Didn't think anyone could figure out my favorite flavors. Impressive. Oh, did we do it? You're in a good mood now. Is this indeed your favorite? Oh, I got it. Perfect Storm. And there's also 2 others. So it could be the other one, the Orange Daisy, I think it was. All right, what do we have to talk to you about? How do you feel about the prohibition? Not good. I hate it too. I mean, I am a bartender after all. Yeah, in your job, I can see why. He looks so different when he's in a good mood. Though I guess there ain't much competition for you right now. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king and all of that. But the people in power got their reasons for this prohibition, and they sure don't care about your success or failure as a bartender. Prohibition was a test to see how far they can push us before we push back, and so far, I don't see anyone doing anything but rolling over. That's how you get power over someone. You don't push too far too fast. You bend them to do what you want. Push too hard and they break. They fight back, or try to get help. That's how I do it. You just keep testing the waters. Push a little, edge into their space, make demands, disrespect them, but not so much they notice, at first. Then, one day, they wake up and realize it's too late to fight back. You already have them under you. It's too late for them to get indignant, to stand up for themselves. You already cut them off at the knees. That's cynical. Is that how you got into this line of work? No one cut me off at the knees. I take orders from whoever pays me, but they don't own me. It's just a job. I collect from people who run, and those people are, in my experience, weak. They got no spine. That czar, though, the czarins rolled over every chance they got. First the mobilizations, then prohibition, conscription, It will be curfew next. It's all about power and how you keep it. Why though? Why? Because no one is questioning power when they're already on their knees, terrified of war. Trust me, strength recognizes strength. Some days I gotta be a monster, it's in my job description, but there's a worse kind of monster than me. They're called politicians. What am I in the mood for today? How about some questions? Why do you work for Carla? You got a problem with me working for Carla? It's no business of yours where I get my scratch, so watch your mouth. I work for whoever can afford me and needs my unique skill set. I'm a freelancer in a competitive market afloat on the seas of supply and demand. It's all economics, really. And you're a freelancer for Carla? Right now, yes. What's she like? Do you really want to know? Think carefully. I can talk to you about what people know about her, or I can tell you about her nature, her true nature. Would she be okay about you saying that? My advice is this. You can't unknow things. Make sure you have the stomach for the questions you ask. I want to know about her true nature. Someone like Carla doesn't need to get her hands dirty very often, but you can't forget where she came from and what she did to get where she is now. She sat down with the old boss, King. They had a face-to-face. Can you believe that? The two most dangerous people alive sat opposite each other at the table like it was any other business meeting. Slicing up the city, deciding who got what. King got the casinos, Carla got the racetracks. Carla gets the protection rackets, King does the laundry. Only problem was, Carla decided her piece of the cake wasn't big enough. At the end of the meeting, they can't reconcile, but King doesn't seem worried. He goes up to Carla and reaches out a hand. I guess he thought, at the end of the day, she's just a dame. They were both unarmed. What could she do to him? What did she do? She took his hand, but then she looks him in the eye and says, "It's already done." What was already done? That's what he asks. He doesn't seem nervous, but he should be. She explains, all your men, all your connections, everyone you think you can rely on, they're already gone. Gone. Gone, one way or another. Most she killed, a few she turned. She knew the meeting wasn't going to work out, but it was all a distraction. The final part of a meticulous plan years in the making. What did he say? It was too late for him to say or do anything. And in that moment, the craziest thing was, he believed her. It would be easier to dismiss her words as a bluff, but he knew. He knew she was telling the truth. How did she do it? Bombs hid in radio cars, hitmen waiting in cafes, poison in wine, piano wire around the neck. I hear she iced 47 guys, all in a 10-minute window during that one meeting. Can you imagine the planning that takes? She even had King's boys who were standing outside the meeting room strung up, waiting for him like decorations. The guys in the room already turned too. That's why Carla is dangerous. They say anger is the strongest emotion, but the quickest. It's gone in a flash. Not for Carla. Her anger is cold, and it waits, and it never goes away. Oh, Peter Wagner notebook updated. That's how I judge people. Our true nature isn't what we show people. Our true nature is what we are capable of, what we can hold on to, and what can we do when someone threatens what we have. That's who we are. What are you in the mood for today? Making me scared that Carla's gonna walk through the door. Any good work stories? I don't want any good work stories after that one. Stories from my work. You sure you got the stomach for that? Maybe not. I mean, I gotta hear what he has to say. Yes. I guess I could tell you about when me, Gillard Ronzi, did a spot at a rundown outpost store in the Rava Valley. Before we left the city, Ronzi threatened a liquor store owner, and to keep the wolves, us, from the door, he let us borrow his radio cap. It had a big storage unit in the back. You know, like those delivery trucks that bring the fish to market downtown? Anyway, we were all thoroughly inebriated on the bitter berry wine Gillard had secured for us that morning. While those two were taking shots, driving and drinking, I had a rummage in the back. And you won't believe what I found. What? A fancy dress costume. A big, fluffy bear costume. The liquor store owner must have been doing kids' parties at the weekend or something. Anyway, Gillard gets so drunk he puts the costume on while me and Ronzi are taking a piss. The suit was massive, fuzzy, and even had the ears and everything. Fancy stuff. He's stumbling around, making bear noises, and we're all laughing our asses off. But this mad farmer comes running out of the trees. Turned out he lived in a farmhouse nearby, and you'll never guess what this guy was worried about. Real bears. Turns out they have big brown ones up there. Poor Gillard didn't even see it coming. Both barrels of the shotgun. Boom. Did this really happen? Am I questioning this? Did this really happen? Will he like it if I question it? You remember what I said at the start, right? What made you think this was going to be a happy story? He was a mad bastard anyway. At least he went out in a memorable way. Most other guys I worked with back in those days just had infected stab wounds or pickled their own livers. Poor Gillard. I like to think of him in the afterlife in the goddess's arms, still wearing that stupid bear costume, and he's still growling. All right, well, that's all that I have here. I could ask you about some of these clues. Oh, about anything. What would you know about? I don't think you know much of anything here on this specific subject. Maybe you know something about lynxbane, though? The poison? Lynxbane poisoning. Oh yeah, nasty stuff that. You're familiar with it. Never used it myself, if that's what you're getting at. Poison's a weapon for women and cowards. Unfortunately, that does seem to cover the entirety of your suspect list, doesn't it? Tough luck. It's late. I'm going home. All right, next up is Hugo. Do I talk to Hugo right now? Usually it's at the end of the day, right? We're going to skip him for the moment and talk with Lucas. Hello. Evening. Business looks to be going well enough. Now, what looks good tonight? Oh, so I need to get you at the right intoxication level to ask about this. And do I know what kind of drinks are your favorite? Oh, you like the wake-up call. I know one of your favorites. But I might want to get you at the right intoxication level instead. Care for a refreshment? Yes, I think I'm ready for a drink now. So 6, 7, or 8. Wake-up call's a 4, so that's not enough. We can go night count, one night stand. Is that it? That is it. And I feel like one night stand is closer to a wake-up call than the night count is. So let's go with this one. Travel around, get a perfect mix. Do you at least like this drink? I hope you don't hate it. Interesting flavor, change is good. Sometimes. All right, let's ask you about Bjorn. Do you know anyone else here? Oh no, where's the... Oh, which one was it? Was it this one? I think it was this one. How are you and Bjorn getting on? Notebook updated really well, I think. I was surprised when he didn't brush me off. How did you meet? At Libraria upstairs. I don't think he is a big reader, but he was browsing a book about birds. I just introduced myself. I was nervous, and normally I am so relaxed in social situations. It wasn't easy to talk for either of us, but I feel like that was a good thing. I think he was nervous. I certainly was. But to me at least, it seemed we both wanted the conversation to go on, even if it was stilted. And over time, that talking has become easier. But still, I don't know how to explain it, but we talk and laugh and he feels so close. Then a wall comes down between us and I can't reach him. I am thinking hard about what I do or say that makes it happen. Maybe it's not you. I mean, exactly. Don't blame it on Lucas. Maybe it's not you. What could it be then? He is a fine fellow and a good friend. I don't think he has a reason to doubt himself. He is very well liked. Why is he keeping me at arm's length? I don't know you well, but you seem like a straightforward and honest sort, so tell me this. Oh no. How do you know the difference between a friendship and something like love? By communicating, you ask. By being bold, you show love to get love. By paying attention, look for the signs. Jeez. I mean, these are all decent answers, right? But it's more of what's best for Lucas. So, thinking on the fact that he doesn't know, why the wall is coming down. Looking for signs is not going to help him. Communicating or being bold. So action or talk. Let's go with talk. You ask. It's really that simple, is it? What if I ask and he says no? That's the risk you got to take. You find someone else. Oh, no. Then you know. You make it sound so simple and romanceless, but maybe that's how it has to be. Thank you. I'll think about it. Thank you for listening to this lovesick fool. It has helped. No problem. Do you know anyone else here? Except for Vincent, not really, but I'm happy to mingle. I mean, you know me. I've already done a lap of the room and the conversation has been decent. I make friends easily. For example, I was having an interesting chat with Detective Mertens about model trains. He's a friendly chap. Maybe to you. Yeah, right, Hugo. No, focus on the model trains. Yes, indeed. He's a little odd, but if you hit on his subject of interest, he gets very animated. I enjoy talking to anyone who is passionate about a subject, no matter what the subject is. What are you passionate about? Guess. Animals wearing tiny human clothes, model trains, or coffee? Oh, coffee? What was your favorite? The wake-up call has coffee in it. Let's go with coffee. Good guess. You're a sharp one. I'm very fond of a strong espresso, though a cappuccino has its place too. But you only drink those in the morning. I learned that when I visited Vitulia in my teens. All right. Oh, another one, coffee. Notebook updated. We have a better name than coffee enthusiast. Java junkie, that's great. Caffeine addict, that's okay. Mocha maniac is good, but I'm gonna go with Java junkie. What? No, I'm a brewmaster. Any tips? Many. Too many. But if I was to suggest a top 3... Yes? Grinding first. Only grind right before brewing. Too early with the grind and your coffee will be stale. Next is tamping. That's when you push the coffee down in the basket. You must tamp, but lightly and without pressure. Don't compact the coffee or the water won't flow through evenly and will channel. And third, don't shock your hot coffee with a cold cup. You can get every step correct and ruin a good coffee pour at the very end with a cold cup. Thanks for the tips. Anytime. I'm opening a bag of Giant Brown dark roast beans soon. Next time I brew some, I'll let you try it. That sounds great. Let's talk about the thing you probably know nothing about. The murder mystery. Is there something you might know about? Let's try Lynxbane. That's one of the newest pieces of information we've gotten. Nope, you don't know anything about that. We have one action left. Bookworm. Visiting family, which was very suspicious. Fang's past. You know what, let's just go basic, just the actual case itself. What do you know about it? Anything? I heard about it. Goodness, what a nightmare. My thoughts go out to her family and friends. Look at the time. I have an early start tomorrow. Take care. Yeah, I have a feeling that people who aren't actually there won't have much to say, except for maybe our 2 detectives. Hello, Bjorn. Good evening. Evening. You should go talk to Lucas. What a place. Not sure where to start. With a drink. And there's no sort of prerequisite for anything over here. So we can give you whatever you want. What are your preferences again? Something simple and strong. Okay, I'll see what I can do. You find a glass and place it in front of you on the counter. You look like you need a drink. Then I look how I feel. Simple and strong. What have we tried? We tried Perfect Storm. Pretty simple. I would say Night Count is fairly simple as well. Also the Orange Daisy. Maybe we go with the Night Count. That does get you to 7, which is nice. Yes. gin vermouth, triple sec lemon slice. Let's try this one. In the form of a bat. Very nice. Thanks, pal. You're in a good mood. Oh, we figured it out. That's another one. We're on a roll. Any friends joining you tonight? There was one. I don't really know many people on the boulevard or in Bukovi. You might meet someone tonight. Yes, I was nervous to come here, but it's nice. Lots of different types of people. I don't feel too out of place. That's what we're aiming for. Hey, I like that. Maybe I'll meet some of Lucas's friends. I hope they don't expect someone different. Okay, so you're just unsure about yourself. You don't think you're worthy for Lucas? Is that what it is? Different? More like Lucas. Yeah, you think he's too good for you. Wealthy, smart, book smart and witty. I'm not the guy you bring out for the after-dinner chat about literature and philosophizing and that kind of thing. Do you even want to be? I suppose the crow is safe at night, but treads lightly in the snow. Huh? It's a Scotian saying. The crow is black, you see. In the snow, it's too easy to spot. But at night, the crow flies with confidence because the night is safe for the crow. I guess it means we all have our own comfort zone, but if we don't leave sometimes, we won't make any new friends. What a place. Not sure where to start. I've asked you everything here. Let's come over here, just talk to you in general about the murder. I read about this in the paper. Grim situation. Afraid I can't help you though, pal. I didn't know the girl. One more action. Do you know anything about Lynx Bane? How people get it, maybe? What a horrible poison. Goes to show that as much as we like to feel in control, nature has endless ways of causing us harm if we're not careful. I better hit the tracks. I need a solid 8 hours before a shift. Good night to you. All right, again, I think we're going to save the detectives for the end. So, Olivia, how the devil have you been? My throat is absolutely parched this evening. Let's get started, shall we? Absolutely. What is your favorite? Do I know this one yet? It is Pirate's Joy. Anything here that's a prerequisite? This is, but did we already say this? Because it's grayed out. I feel like we have. Or maybe it's always like that? Pirate's Joy gets you to 4. Maybe not, actually. Since we did do this before, and it didn't get you to the right inebriation level. So let's just focus on getting that. One night stand will work. That's at a 6. And we're swapping pineapple for passion fruit. So far, I don't think I've ever chosen a drink that somebody actually dislikes. It's a pleasure to see a fellow creative spirit. The improvisation tastes delightful. So not your favorite, right? No, not your other favorite, as it were. Okay, yeah, so maybe even though it was grayed out, we still haven't asked about it? That's very strange. Got any gossip about Wendy Brooker? Oh my, it seems the alcohol turned off my capacity for drama. I doubt that. It's a tale I was saving for the radio show on the topic of superficiality. But for you, dear, have you ever noticed how Miss Brooker and I make great efforts when it comes to our public persona? Absolutely. Oh, you like that answer? Then perhaps you have noted that we are not alike, though she may wish it so. Can't say I do. My earrings, choker, headband, all chosen for the occasion. I dress for the impression I want to make and the people I will see. Miss Brooker, meanwhile, always wears the same diamonds for every event. When I pressed her on this, she claimed they were a family heirloom and had sentimental value. I wasn't convinced, so I examined her earrings and that rock she sometimes wears on her finger. And, oh, found a clue: rhinestone heirlooms. They're not diamonds, they're rhinestone, as fake as the rouge on my cheeks. Moneyed families can fall on hard times, but they sell off their beach houses and fire their help. They don't pawn the family jewels. Refinement sharpens the senses, and without it, a fake can fool many people, but not everyone. I've said enough already. Don't tell anyone. It will spoil the next episode of the show, darling, and I'll know it was you. Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't that give Wendy a motive because somebody was blackmailing her for money? I wouldn't dare. I completely just forgot what you said because I was thinking about clues. What's the recent gossip? Oh, come now, darling. That is not how the game is played. Knowledge is power, and we don't give away our power unless forced. And gossip is knowledge with entertainment value. Spicy knowledge, if you will. What does Olivia have to offer? Well, frankly, a lot. You already gave me something that's golden, I think. But one thing she possesses in greater quality and quantity than anyone else in this little city is gossip. And if you want me to give that away, what can you offer me in return of equal value? I make delicious cocktails. That's not going to work. I could advertise your radio program. Probably not. She thinks she's famous enough. Let's go some of my gossip. Darling, don't take this the wrong way, but if you know something that I don't, I'll have to reevaluate my understanding of the order of this universe. No offense taken. I mean, a little offense taken. I have a better suggestion. Yes? You know, a personal recommendation from an esteemed member of the community, like a skilled bartender, can attract more listeners than 100 posters. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Okay, I'll tell my customers to listen to your show. Very good. And in return, I can offer one salacious piece of tittle and or tattle, but only one. The question is, who do you think holds the most interesting secrets? Oh, Maria, Fang, Killian, Wendy. Oh, gosh. Well, you already gave me something on Wendy. Killian, I still don't suspect Killian, and I don't really suspect Fang either. I don't want to suspect Maria, but the fact that she checked out that book. Where's my clues? Didn't she... Where is it? The bookworm part? Yeah, she bought a book on botanical poisons. Is very suspicious. So let's go with Maria. Oh, you won't get much drama out of that sad sack, I'm afraid. I mean, fair enough, I don't have a heart of ice. You can see the girl suffers. I wonder what the big argument between her and the Dragos girl was about, though. But I've already said too much. Let's change our focus. You didn't give me anything there. Let's change our focus to weightier subjects. Gossip is like cake, sweet in small portions, but too much can make you feel a little sick. All right, well, now you want me to gossip. Do you worship? Oh, yes, darling. I'm very devout, though I am finding new ways to show my devotion recently. How so? Well, you know, when my husband was alive, I took a very literal reading of the sanctified books of the scrolls of the goddess. But after his passing, may the goddess hold his soul in her eternal embrace, I started to read what those books actually said. My husband was often quoting words of the goddess that I could find in no book. Did he get confused? Well, I noticed he particularly emphasized the importance of the husband's authority and the value of being demure. Okay, so he was just making it up. I've never heard of those values. Indeed, and with his passing, heartbroken though I remain, I have found great comfort in the goddess's actual teachings. In particular, along with my good friend Fang, oh, you're friends with Fang, we find great value in the emancipation of the feminine in the pursuit of the grace of the goddess. Though the church still represents the goddess to me, sometimes I look at, say, Father John Lacey. Oh yeah, we haven't seen Father Lacey this entire case, and wonder if he truly helps me touch the divine feminine that is the goddess. Or perhaps, and please don't think me conceited when I say this, the divine feminine lives not in John Lacey or the church itself, or even the congregation, but in me. Do I just agree with you? Will you like that? Will I increase my affection score? I will. Well, it's just a thought, a half thought even, but I wonder if I step away from the church, would the goddess turn her back on me? I think I have found faith in her and in her capacity to love me no matter where I go or what I do. All right, that is everything here. To the clues. Threatening letter we asked you about. You know what? You know a lot about Wendy. What about her visiting family? Pardon me, darling. As much as I love gossip, I'm not too sure I know enough about this. Okay. We have one more action. Dumped. Second fiddle. Let's go with dumped. Or maybe we do one of the ones that have the icons on it, that are the motives and such. Just on bookworm. Oh my. Talk about a juicy piece of information. Thank the goddess booksellers aren't bound by client confidentiality, I can't imagine anyone innocent would want to read about a subject like that. Okay, well now you gotta head back home. If I don't get my beauty sleep, the Maverick will go bankrupt. Ta-ta. Hey boss, how's it going? I trust everything is going smoothly so far. It's going well. What shall we discuss? Nothing new here. Let me get you a drink. Oh wait, do I know? You still like the Eastern Ruby, of course. Can I tempt you? Something classic. You have another favorite though. I might just want to test. So this is whiskey, sugar syrup, lemon juice, red wine, ice cubes. Out of 5. Do we just go in order maybe? Let's just go in order. Do you like liberty? I feel like you do. Well, the concept more than the drink, but hopefully the drink. You're getting better at this. For future reference, I'm a big fan of, orange. If you got something behind that bar with orange, I'm all for it. Have you told me that before? I'm not sure. I do. I have, was it called an orange daisy? Come over here. Let's talk to you about Maria buying that book from your store. Goodness, you're still thinking about that, are you? I would not have brought it up if I'd known you would latch onto it in this fashion. I assure you, it's likely a complete coincidence. Miss Papa has an inquisitive mind, that's all. What about Lynxbane? The poison used? Oh yes, I've read about that one once before in an illustrated botanical guide. Beautiful flowers, but very potent indeed. Dreadful to think something so deadly dots many a garden and a meadow. And Fang's past? Do you know anything about that? Dear goddess bartender, are these the kind of things Detective Mertens is having you unearth? Yes. Miss Spy has been here long before immigrant workers were imported in droves like they are now, back when our government ran proper background checks. Don't go putting any crazy ideas into your head. So you'll vouch for her? Dumped, toxicology. We only have one more action, right? Oh no, 3. We have a lot. Okay, what about the murder in general? You certainly are taking this detective work seriously, just like somebody else you know, a year ago. Is it decent to be digging into the poor girl's dirty laundry like this? I need to find out why she was murdered. I suppose so. Needless to say, I know nothing about it, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. How about a threatening letter? I'd rather you didn't tell me things like this, bartender. I despise gossip. Apologies. Then you don't want to hear about the blackmail? What about Killian's freedom? This is all gossip, honestly. Let's go with blackmail. Yep, I'm sorry. You don't want any more gossip. And now you have to go, right? It's getting late. I'll be back soon. Take care. All right, let's go with somebody who I forgot their name. Elena Earnest. Good to see you, my dear. I hope the day has treated you kindly. Always a pleasure, Elena. Bars are a great place for deep thoughts, and I always think best with a glass in my hand. What sort of drinks do you like? We don't know. Would simple fruity flavors be enough for you to work with? It would. I have an orange daisy. Bars are a great place. Do I have any requirements? No intoxication requirements. Actually, I have a lot of drinks with fruit in them, don't I? Orange daisy, pirate's joy, the one night stand. What should I try out? I mean, I guess orange daisy is the one that first came to mind, so we'll go there. Oh, it only gets you to do 2, but we don't have any requirements, so we'll just do this one. Not requirements. We don't have any prerequisites. That's the word I was looking for. Perfect mix, and probably one for my boss too, next time he comes in. An auspicious start. This is blended perfectly. Oh, we got it. We got it. Excellent. So, I mean, there's a lot of here. Oh, infinite actions. Why did you come out of retirement? The poisoned girl, Elena. She was a bit of an outsider. Something about her death felt familiar. And that feeling, it's a scab I have to pick at. It reminds you of another case? Yes and no. It reminds me of a way I used to be. It reminds me of the old Elena, who didn't back down from challenges and wasn't afraid to follow her instincts and see where they lead. What happened to you? Defeat humbled me. Defeat by whom? I had not expected to be talking about this with you or anyone. Perhaps when we know each other better, I'll say more. Oh, we need a higher affection meter. So I gotta ask you again about this when I have more affection with you. What do you think of Detective Mertens? Not much, I don't think. What do I think of him? Yes. Well, he didn't get to his current position without displaying some ability. He's no fool. But his strongest trait is not his intuition or deduction, it's his ambition, and it has led him into foreign lands, literally. Is he in trouble? He's out of his depth. He might already be unraveling. We should make use of him while we can. How do we use him? You're either smart enough to work your way around Detective Mertens or you're not, but if you need a little advice, leave some openings that he can explore. Don't give him conclusions, point him in directions. He can put 2 and 2 together. For anything more complicated, that's where you might have to draw him a picture. Perhaps I'm too hard on him. He has potential to be a good detective, or perhaps he had potential. He is lost, dwelling on his own shortcomings. Maybe you can help him rediscover his spark, or at least keep him company while he plays with his toy trains. I mean, I don't want to help him rediscover anything. I'm just invested in helping find Elena's murderer. What's it like being a private investigator? Oh, I was sitting here thinking, what does pi have to do with it? What, pi? Oh no, PI. It's like being in one of those glamorous mystery novels that women of a certain age love so much, but without the glamour or mystery. How so? In real crimes, the victim is seldom beautiful and the culprit is almost always the husband. Crime is most often horribly mundane. Men are fragile, and when their egos are cracked, they commit violence on women. Really? Well, that's just the murders and assaults, and in truth, I have stepped away from those. Don't have the stomach for it anymore. Even before I retired, for 20-odd years, I was doing the more prosaic investigations. Like? Oh, the usual: missing persons, inheritance squabbles, insurance fraud, corporate espionage, and the odd heist. Heists sound exciting. Oh, notebook updated. Sometimes, yes. You heard of the Konyu Noa diamond robbery. It wasn't misplaced during cleaning in the Gallery of Colonial Treasures. It really was stolen, and I found it. Wow. Anyway, I can't get this Dragos girl out of my head. Something about the way she died. I need to unravel this mystery, even if it means stepping back into a world I thought I'd left behind. Besides, I can't stand that the police are trying to incriminate my friend. She cared a lot for the girl. I hope that by seeing this case solved, poor Miss Bai can find some concept of peace again in her life. Do you have family living here in Bukovi? I have a lot of questions for her apparently. Normally, yes. But right now my husband is traveling. He'll visit the twins eventually, who now both live in the colonies, but his last postcard was from, let me think, Albion, I believe. Man, you know what I really want? I want a map. I know this isn't a straight, pure fantasy game, but I always love a good map. You didn't want to travel with him? No, I'm quite fond of him, but I do enjoy some time to myself. What do you do with your time, besides, investigating murders that you're not really hired upon? Other than coming out of retirement, that's what I'm talking about, to moonlight on police investigations, I'm terribly fascinated by these new radio stations. What do you do with your free time? Hey, oh, by the way, I gotta tell you to go listen to Olivia's radio play thing, talk show? I don't remember. I'd like to learn how to juggle. I'm juggling so many people and clues right now. I think I'm juggling just fine. All I seem to do is work. Well, there you go. I want to find love. I need to pay off debt somehow. All I seem to do is work. I need a break. Well, I can help you with that, but I'm happy you feel you can confide in me. I look forward to solving the mystery of the young woman's death together. Okay, well, I definitely like her a lot better than Hugo, but who knows? Maybe she'll betray me in the end. What do you think about speakeasies? Find places that serve the thirsty citizens of Bukovi in their hour of need. Those who run such establishments put their liberty on the line for a splash of bourbon. Illegal, though. That doesn't concern me overly. But you worked for the police. I worked for them. I'm not married to the police. I don't need to pretend I agree with them. Indeed, the Bukovi Constabulary comes to me for my contrarian nature. Contrarian? I found that the ruder I am to the officers in the downtown Metropole precinct, the more they like me. When I was a young detective, they couldn't keep up with me, but they didn't listen to me or respect me either. Now, I talk to them as you would a stupid child, or perhaps a very clever dog, and the boys at the station listen. Let this be a lesson to you, bartender. You want me to be rude to everybody? What's the lesson? When you treat people like they have to earn your respect, they give you theirs for free. It's important advice for the people who often find they are the smartest one in the room, but not necessarily the most charismatic. Is that you? No, I'm very charming. You're very shrewd? Well, I don't take advice from strangers till they've earned my trust. We'll go with this one. Oh, you did not like that? Yes, but you agreed. What do you think of the Bukovi police force? Did you not already just tell me, essentially? What do I think about them? They've got a storied history. If you look back at their formation over the years, you can see why they are how they are. Tell me about their history. You know what else I would love? Would be some kind of lore book that kind of expands and puts entries into itself as you gain more information. I know we get the notebook updates for people like here, but I'd love like a lore section that would be adding information as well that I can refer to. Not that it would have anything to do with the case, but it would just be interesting to have more about the world to learn about. Tell me about their history. The Bukovi Constabulary, to use the proper title, is a successor to the defunct Bukovi Imperial Order Regiment. You see, the old Bjorn was militarized, and with Bukovi's history of uprising and coups, the reigning aristocracy was mainly focused on keeping order in the streets. The old saying goes, Czarn politicians wear loose collars because they know the noose is always waiting. Oh wait, are you still listening? Or is this too much for the short attention span of your generation? Hey now, I just said I wanted more lore. Still listening? Well, it all changed when the military staged a coup against our old aspiring emperor, Leopold the Bold. The old fool angered the generals and they turned on him. That's not exactly what the history books say. It is if you read them properly and consider who wrote them. Anyway, this bickering between the Imperial Guard, the Bjorn, and the actual army started to worry the real power brokers in Zara, the landed gentry. And a lot of soldiers found they no longer had homes in the winter. Financial levers were pulled and the constabularies were founded, primarily of ex-soldiers, employed to evict those who couldn't make rent. It was all a scheme? The new constabularies were paid 3 times what the Bjorn received, and recruitment drives were very aggressive. Soon, we had a demilitarized nation with a swollen police force. Of course, that didn't last. Once Leopold was exiled and the riots, protests, and skirmishes subsided, the constabularies were slashed to the bare minimum, and we were left with the understaffed, overly aggressive PD you see in Bukovi. We have more empty police precincts in Zara than tea houses in Huaxia. I still cannot pronounce that word however it's supposed to be pronounced, but not to worry, they make lovely bird sanctuaries in the long cold winter. So that's why they're not great? Their primary motivation is the protection of property and to stabilize commerce so the Bukovi economy chugs along like a steam locomotive. They tackle street-level crime with the same ethos as the established gangs that rule the Bukovi undercity. And that ethos is? You can't catch every lawbreaker, so when you catch one, make the poor bastards suffer. And then you just hope that your overreaction frightens the rest enough that they commit their crimes a little more discreetly. As it should be, no, people shouldn't be afraid of the police. What do you think about that? Oh gosh, okay, she doesn't like that at all. You should think hard enough to form your own opinion and find the courage to share it. Maybe I could ask you some questions. I am, aren't I? How about we switch things up a bit and I ask you some questions? I feel like you're doing a lot of interrogation, and maybe we turn the tables for a minute. Treat it like a lesson, darling. I've been getting information out of suspects all my life. Let me show you how it's done. All right. Do you think you're up to the task of tracking down a killer? I mean, I do, though I'm technically not the same person. I can do it. Be confident. There we go. Confident. Interesting. Let me give you some guidance. When you're trying to get a read on someone, there's only one question you need to hold in your head. And that is, what does this person want me to feel about them? Yeah, I've been guessing wrong with you the entire night. That's it. That's it. We all wear a mask when speaking with others, and the mask is built to show something. Be on the lookout for what people are trying to show you. It won't be hard to spot. Now, what kind of investigator do you want to be? Do you want to serve your community or save yourself? I want to save myself. I don't want to be going to jail like the last guy. I want to help people. I need to save the speakeasy. No, it's not that one. I'm trying to do both. I want to save myself. I mean, I want to help people. That's the answer. Help find the killer. Not help Hugo in particular, but the rest of them. So you can convince yourself you are helping others when motivated by self-interest. Interesting. What, that seems harsh to you? Well, that's rather the point, darling. Getting a read on someone isn't about a flattering idea of their nature, it's about the unflattering truth. Now, are you a sociable sort or do you prefer your own company? Interesting. I enjoy time to myself. It varies. I'll say that. It varies. It does, and I believe you. But most people choose one or the other. Last question. Are you in love with anyone who doesn't know it? I don't think I am. Huh? It's not a long or complex question, darling, and I don't care who it is. I'm just wondering if your heart is pining right now. It is not. I don't get romantic feelings at all. I'm just gonna say I'm not in love with anyone. Well, smooth sailing makes you appreciate the waves when they come in, and though things are calm now, a storm can come anytime. That's all my questions for now. What was the point of this? 3 things: to practice, to educate, and to form an opinion on you. And I am rusty, but my instincts remain. You'll have learned a little something if you were listening, and I haven't decided what I think of you. But you're not boring. That's enough for me. For now. All right. Can we talk to you about some stuff? Oh, do I just pick everything? There's a lot to go through, to be honest. This is one long day. Yes, a truly dreadful way to go. Considering Elena's age and general good health, I can't imagine this being anything but foul play. But what could have brought on these particular symptoms? You'll need to find out more about the cause of death if you want to narrow down your list of suspects. I mean, I do know. Should I just cherry pick what I ask? I feel like I might miss something because sometimes there are questions asked or connections made that I don't expect. So, I mean, we got to go through them all. The plot thickens. It seems Bukovi police still has its uses. They've done well unearthing this piece of information for us. I imagine Detective Mertens believes our mystery blackmailer could be the killer, Definitely a solid lead. We'll need to find out what Elena's secret is if we're to narrow down our list of suspects. Her close friends might be able to tell us. I mean, I've already done this. Homecoming. I'm not surprised to hear Dr. Durand runs a tight ship. Her son certainly seems to have a penchant for trouble. Still, I speak from experience when I say young men his age don't take well to parental control. I doubt he moved back home willingly. Try to find out what happened there. It might be relevant. Late entrance. It certainly sounds in character for young Mr. Durand to show up late, doesn't it? If we're lucky, the time of his arrival might just cross him off our list of suspects. Try to find a way to narrow down our time frame. What exactly could Elena's death have... When could it have been set in motion? Elena's secret. I found this out in the last 2 seconds that I talked to you. I'd have thought a girl like Elena was wise enough to steer clear of such things, and certainly too wise to take them in excess. It's true that medication like this can do some serious damage to one's health over time, but I somehow doubt it's that simple. Her friends knowing her secret, though, now that part is interesting. Charcoal. Miss Bai may have saved lives, but of course Detective Mertens is quick to point the finger at her for it. Still, let's do our due diligence and at least ask her where she learned about charcoal's medicinal properties. I've already done that as well. I mean, do I just focus on these? At least when we get through all this, we won't have to do it again. So the blackmailer resorted to murder. Our culprit must have been someone with a lot on the line and a serious need for money, like Wendy now. Try to gain the trust of the suspects involved and see if the shoe fits for any of them. Well, Wendy's gone at the moment. Toxicology. I'm not surprised. Miss Bai is a wise and well-traveled woman. Let's put the idea of her being some killer to bed already, shall we? She's been hassled enough by our detective. Must we go digging into her past too? It is kind of suspicious, though, that everybody says to ignore Miss Bai. I mean, I don't think it's her. But are they purposefully trying to throw me off? As in the game? Fang Bai knew those girls well. If she believes there may have been some bad blood there, I believed her. We'll need to find out what their quarrel could have been about. One of their friends might be able to tell us more. They haven't quite yet. Although I think there is one with Maria that I need a prerequisite for. Dumped. Elena made the right call if you ask me. They were hardly in the same league, and being blonde and charming can only excuse so much ineptitude. Perhaps you could find out more about how Killian was affected by the breakup. It wouldn't be the first to turn very sour indeed. Second fiddle. I'm not sure I would consider Miss Brooker the best judge of character, but if a shift in Maria's attitude was clear even to her, there might be something there. Try to find out what could have soured her like that. Bookworm, here we go, we're getting into some of the juicy stuff. Interesting. Mr. Floare could stand to hold the privacy of his customers in higher regard, but in this case it has brought us a valuable piece of information. This doesn't look good for Miss Papa. Betrayal. It's possible they fought over Elena's use of medication. The timeline certainly lines up, but for it to have ended their friendship entirely, I'd imagine there's a little more to this we have yet to piece together. Cut off? Money woes? Rejection clipped his wings, did it? I can certainly imagine him holding a grudge over that, even if he only has his own complacency to blame. Let's see if this fits the rest of our puzzle. Killian's freedom. You believe Mr. Durand could be your blackmailer. It's certainly a credible theory. He may have grown a little too comfortable getting to share Elena's wealth. I can only imagine how well he handled her payments drying up. Checkmate. What a painful affair. A betrayal this personal could certainly be motivation for murder. I imagine Miss Dragos had her reasons for what she did, although I doubt we'll ever find out what they were. Visiting family. Taking a relaxing vacation in the middle of an ongoing murder investigation might come across as a bit callous, but I suppose it is her right. It's suspicious is what it is. The fact she told you about it is probably a good sign. Not that I imagine Miss Brooker has any intent to slip away. And Feng's past, which you're going to tell me to ignore? I suppose I'm impressed. To learn about Feng's past without her consent is no simple task, but you seem determined to dig up her secrets. Don't go putting any wild thoughts in your head, bartender. This means nothing. Very suspicious. Lynxbane. Fascinating. All of Elena's symptoms match those of Lynxbane's poisoning. That's a plant native only to Zara. Our nation's history is littered with stories and rumors about Lynxbane poisoning. It's a useful medicine, but a potent toxin. As with all things, it's the dosage that makes the difference, and that can be hard to measure if you're not familiar with the plant and the process. You'd be shocked if you didn't find a small stash of the stuff in the office of any doctor on the Bukovi Boulevard. Was it an accident? How do you know all this? I paid attention in history class when I was in school, and I paid attention when I went for dinner with Dr. Durand and her son Killian. Wait, what? Fascinating. Deadly medicine. Rhinestone heirlooms. I suppose if I was to trust anyone's judgment on jewelry, it would certainly be Olivia Carmine's. How peculiar. You'd think someone from such wealth wouldn't be caught dead wearing mere rhinestones, let alone passing them off as an heirloom. Still, I suppose being tacky is not a crime. And last one, deadly medicine. I don't know what poor Agatha Durand did to be cursed with such a fool of a son. Perhaps his father dropped him on his head as a child. If he does turn out to be our culprit, at least you can be certain her punishment will be more severe than that of any judge. Alright, well that is everything. So, that is the end of the conversation. I have business to attend to. Goodbye, dear. And do you return back there, indeed? Hello there, Hugo. Good evening, Detective Mertens. New information to share? Maybe. Nothing here. Oh yeah, a fair amount. 9 more items. It sounds credible. The timeline sure lines up, but why would Elena's use of medication have sparked a conflict this serious? I would understand a reaction of concern or disapproval from Maria, but anger strong enough to end a lifelong friendship? There must be more to this. Cut off. Having to move back home with your tail between your legs, a humiliating affair for any young man, I would imagine. Still, it doesn't seem to have motivated him to find work. Is he really just that lazy, or was he getting money some other way? Elena granted him a rope, but Killian saw only a ladder. It's certainly a credible theory. Checkmate. A long-suffering victim of foul play, ending their rivalry with a final checkmate. It's a solid theory. Still, would Miss Papa have been capable of such a cold, calculated act? I don't think so. Let's try to find out how she really felt about Elena. Visiting family. I'm not sure how this is relevant to our investigation. Do you think Miss Brooker might try to skip town? Maybe. Alright, let's just keep it in the back of our mind for now. Fang's past. I see. So Elena's wasn't the first poisoning Fang Bai has been implicated in. Even if she wasn't linked to the crime at the time, the fact it happened again gives me pause. See if this lines up with anything we've already learned about Miss Bai. Link's Bane. Excellent work, bartender. You're more resourceful than I give you credit for. Good, good. What also would be nice if at the beginning of the game, or at least the beginning of this case, we would be able to give ourselves like a name so they could refer to me as as a name and not bartender. So this is our poison then. Not the kind of plant you could get your hands on in a city like Bukovi unless you're exceptionally well connected, or a medical professional, or a poisoner must have gone out of their way to obtain it. Finding out who had access to Link's Bane should lead us to our culprit. See if any of the witnesses can give us a timeline of events too. If Link's Bane needs 4 hours to take effect, that means Elena must have been poisoned around noon. Interesting. Are you seriously spending your time on this investigation exchanging hot gossip with Miss Carmine? You must admit it's odd. Fine. I'll entertain the idea. So you believe Miss Brooker is wearing cheap, fake jewelry. What does that tell you? That she doesn't have money for real jewelry, yes. So in other words, you believe she's not all she claims to be. It's an interesting theory. If Miss Brooker is not quite as wealthy as we'd initially assumed, that means she too could be our blackmailer. But we're going to need more concrete evidence than the word of Olivia Carmine. If you find any other clues that could substantiate your theory, bring them together. And one more, deadly medicine. So, your hypothesis is that Killian used Link's Bane poison after acquiring it from his mother's pharmacy cabinet. It's a possibility. He raps his knuckles on the bar. Are you familiar with the feeling of deja vu? Yes. Let's just say I've been here before, but I can't discuss past cases, of course. Let's keep working on this theory. No, I have no more information for you. I have business to attend to. Goodbye. I think it's funny that he won't sit with her, like that's his usual spot and she's taking it from him. That's hilarious. All right, but we are at over an hour, so that was a very long day, the longest day so far. Once again, this has been Best Served Cold, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching.